It's another snowy morning. It's too cold to go outside and the sun is just coming up, so it's a good time to do some quilting. Today I'm tackling my least favourite part of the process, putting backs on quilts. I love making quilt tops. I love quilting. Backings, I put them off as long as humanly possible. And if you do the same, you're not alone. So I thought I'd show you how I deal with them, from quick baby quilts to donation quilts, and how I try to make this job a little easier and a little cheaper. I often end up with a whole stockpile of quilt tops waiting for bags. Sometimes it's procrastination and sometimes it's life. This year my Juki, the machine I do most of my quilting on, was at the menders for weeks. It's just a sit-down machine, but has this nice big throat and I really like quilting on it. And as you know, I just moved house and setting up a new sewing room, and suddenly nothing gets finished. So today I've got a whole pile that needs attention. Baby quilts are the easiest place to start. I usually make mine about 40 inches wide. That means I can often use a single piece of regular width fabric for the back. And I'm constantly quilting, so this is one I actually made this week, and it's just 5-inch squares, super simple, set in this medallion pattern. No video about it because it's simple sewing. This fabric is flannel or flannelette, which I really like for baby quilts. It's soft and cosy, but it can shrink, so sometimes I pre-wash it. A generous friend donated this. Most is standard size, which is about 42 inches wide. So you can see here, once it's lined up, you don't have much extra, but it's enough to work with. And this is another one of the same pattern that I've been making this week, so have to sort of back out for that one. This one you might remember, it's the Arkansas crossing. It's going to be donated, and the backing fabric actually came from a free table at a quilt guild. Now, if you belong to a quilt guild and they have one, they're fantastic. So, you know, everybody contributes and then people pick things up. And so I picked this fabric up because I knew that I could use it. And this is a large piece that I picked up there. It's 42 inches wide and it's cotton. It'll make a great bag. Of course, the quilt top is around 54 inches wide. It's a lap size. So to make it large enough, I have two choices, and this is the first choice. I can cut the fabric all the way down the centre line and add a pattern strip. I'm not sure if on camera you can see that centre line there. It's actually the fold line from being on the bolt of fabric. So it's a ready-made dividing line where I'd cut it into two halves. In this case, I'd add about an 18-inch strip down the centre. I'll make a strip 18 inches wide by the length of the backing fabric, which of course is going to be longer than the quilt top I've made. I then use leftover fabrics like these, sew them into one long piece, and then just attach the backing to either side. Now these are the kind of things that I use. It's a good way to use up leftovers, and it makes the back a bit more interesting. Some pieces are too small for anything else anyway, some are too bright. And this one I just don't like, and that's okay. I'm not fond of pink at all. I'll cut each one 18 inches wide and then just sew them together in a long strip. Attach the backing that I've cut in half, one piece down each side, and you have a bag ready to go. This is a second option on another quilt that I've made recently. This is the Missouri Star Quilt cat pattern, and that's available on their site. It's really a cute and nice, easy pattern to do. I do it a lot. But what I was going to show you is for the backing for this one, if you have the 40-inch wide, you actually can just piece together the same fabric on the back. So do you see that where I've just joined the seams, have to put an extra little piece in there and a strip down the side, and then the rest of this is just all one piece. It's simple, it works, and it doesn't overcomplicate things. I think I bought this fabric on sale. I thought it was perfect for a lot of backings, goes with a lot of different quilts. And I've just pinned this one ready to quilt. This is in my stockpile to do, so it's already pinned with the batting, and I'm going to quilt that one next this morning when I finish making this video. So let me put that to one side. This is a potato chip variation that I made a while ago, and I'm going to use grey to back this quilt. If you really want to make life easier, the 108-inch wide backing fabric is hard to beat. So I recently bought a few neutrals. I bought this grey, beige and blue. This one I think is from Hobby Lobby. I already had this one in. The neutral colours work with so many quilts, and I can always use blue. They make backings a lot less work. The only tricky part is handling such a big piece of fabric. And measuring and cutting can really be awkward with such a large piece. And so this is how I do it. I'm just unfolding this, trying to show you just how much fabric you're dealing with here. I find that the easiest way to do this is I measure the length of the quilt, I add a little bit extra on, I clip it at the edge, and then I tear it, which I know that sounds a bit horrendous, but it really works good. So I'll just show you on this little sample. So I'd measure, if my quilt's 52, I'd maybe measure 54 or 55. Put a little clip and then tear it down. It gives you a straight edge, and because you're cutting the back a little larger than the quilt top, this excess is waste anyway. I don't do this for quilt tops, but for backs it's quick and accurate. And actually I've seen some stores that tear fabric this way when you're buying your yardage of fabric. But even if it wasn't, you can see it's a pretty decent edge. That way you get a nice square piece. The initial cost might seem a little bit more expensive. I usually buy 3 yards in a certain colour. And that's because these quilts that I make that are lap size, they standard come out at 52 or 54 inches. So if I buy 3 yards, for example, of this fabric, I can almost cut it into 4. I'll get 4 quilts from the back. So it actually works out quite economically. Sounds expensive when you buy it because it's more expensive to buy, depending on where you buy it from, you know. The price does vary quite a bit, and you can always look for sales. I think this grey is going to look good on this one. Here I've used the beige, 108-inch wide, on the back of one of the Irish chains with the birds in quilt that I just made. And you can see it goes really well, and it looks fine finished. And if you use the extra wide fabric, the 108-inch, it really does make things, finishing off things a lot quicker. And here's the pale blue. I actually quilted this one last night. This is an old quilt that I made a few months ago, and it's just been one of the ones that's just been sitting there. And this was just made out of scraps, and it turned out really pretty. So I've got to now find something to make the binding with that coordinates with that. But I think the blue on the back is really nice. Another thing I like to do on quilt backs is to use up orphan blocks. Let me just open this one out. You can see there, this one has a block in the centre that isn't from the front. The front is chickens, but it was a block I wanted to use up. But if I'd had a chicken block, I could have put that in the centre. Now, some things happen by mistake on the back. So on this quilt was an early experiment in trying to do Sashiko as quilting, which I've struggled with, even though that is one of the things I would like to do. So I did a block by block quilting experiment, and honestly, some of it didn't work at all. I wanted to cover it, so I appliqued on the back some of these little butterflies and flowers, and it turned out that the back ended up looking really kind of cute. Not planned, just problem solving. Backings are never my favourite job, but they have to be done eventually, using free fabric, leftovers, extra wide backings, orphan blocks, and even mistakes. It makes it quicker, cheaper and a bit more interesting. Up to now, these are the ones that I've got completed. And I'm going to work through more of my stockpile while it's still cold and snowy outside. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.